Everyone, this is Snicked back with another Royal Revolt 2 video. For this one, I'm just going to very briefly look at some in-level gameplay, and in particular, I'm going to go ahead and raid Creative49. Creative49 is the top listed player on my favorites list right now. It doesn't provide me with a ton of gold per se, but I do really like the base, and it does provide me with a decent amount of trophies right now, where I'm at above 3,700. And so we'll get into the details of the base itself as I walk through, but a pretty representative troop mix in the waves. So the troop composition in the waves again is pretty strong. It's a good balance of melee with paladins up top, and then even some knights in there, and then heavy on max R blasters, pyromancers, and mortars as well. So really well rounded. Also, firebolt cannons, skull cannons, as you would expect from a player that's here kind of at this elite level in the top 20. Most of those are probably close to being maxed out, along with their blockades. So it is pretty slow going, and the design of the base itself is pretty effective. There's a few points of overlap which I would consider choke points. And this base actually looks quite a bit like Master E's. It's not quite the same. There is really one subtle difference to it, kind of in the last third, where there isn't quite as much overlap between the paths. But for all intents and purposes, it really does look almost the exact same. So anyone that wants to train to try to defeat Master E can give Creative49 a shot. And so without further ado, we'll go ahead and go into it here. May not do a whole lot of talking because when in close calls like this, the more I talk, the more I lose. So, but I'll try to give it a good shot here. So, spawn some pyromancers and R blasters at the beginning just to get a good opening army going. And see, I'm already stuttering. This is terrible. And I'm going to go ahead and just use my Blade Storm to blow through those two barriers there, so I don't have to worry about that later. That's awesome that my Pyromancers already took down that opening tower. You can see there that this is max level Sonic Blast, and it just barely brings down one of these towers. So these Skull Towers are pretty high level. They can definitely go higher. I can tell, I'm not sure what these would be at, but they're at least probably like a level 7 or a level 8. Same with the Firebolt Towers. Firebolt Towers are pretty formidable. And with the prevalence of Fire Towers in this base, it's really important to bring Pyromancers along and let them do some of the heavy lifting. Sometimes you have to constantly be pulling them up to you. Right there we had two Skull Towers right together. Pretty much a bad idea. They're pretty strong, but if I had my Sonic Blast off the cooldown, the way that I should remember to do in the future, then it's pretty easy to bring those down in short order. So I'm going to go ahead and burn another Sonic Blast here to bring down that tower. And my Pyromancers in the back, bringing up the rear. I'm going to range a little bit ahead here, take out this gate while I'm waiting on my Sonic Blast to come off cooldown again. You can see I've got some Pyromancers there who are going to take care of that for me, it looks like. So I'm going to move on. The great thing about Pyromancers is you want to balance offloading or delegating too much to them, especially with destroying Firebolt Towers, but they are fairly reliable. So that's definitely the troop that you want to have the most of when you come into a base like this, because the more Pyromancers you have, the more often than not the AI is going to pick up the slack. So this is going to actually run really close. I'm going to go ahead and hit Sonic Blast here, and up here, and then I'm going to run to the gate, and we'll see if I can make it in time. This is going to be really close. Normally I like to be able to get off 2 Sonic Blasts up here. So this is going to be really, really close. I get away from those guys so I can concentrate on bringing down the gate. And with 2 seconds left, I was able to bring down Creative49's gate, and we got a victory. And that just goes to show you that I had left a couple of those Firebolt Towers kind of intact with a third of their health left, And so that can seem like a lot to bring down, and there's a trade-off there because once the hero gets to the castle gate, if those pyromancers, if the AI gets hung up on those firebolt towers, it will sit there and attack the firebolt tower until the firebolt tower is brought down. Now, those are max pyromancers that I'm bringing in, fighting those high-level firebolt towers, and so it's kind of a big battle there, and it can take a few shots from the pyromancers to bring those firebolt towers down, and its damage over time as well. So it can take a few seconds from tower to tower. And as I had said, you don't want to offload or delegate too much responsibility onto the pyromancers to bring down those towers, because sometimes the AI will stick and they'll sit there and attack until they've brought the tower down. But then there are other times where, for whatever reason, the AI won't, especially if you're using the hero boost a lot, it can kind of jostle those pyromancers free, and they won't fully take down the tower, and that's where you would end up with a raid instead of full victory. Now, that doesn't make a whole lot of difference, especially if you bring down the gate. You know, it might reduce the number of trophies that I had gotten down to 9 or 8, and the number of medals I had gotten down into the 80s. Maybe reduce my gold a little bit down to like 180 or 190. So it's not a whole lot, but there is a balance there that you want to strike between sprinting forward to get to the gate and bringing it down, and delegating too much responsibility to pyromancers or arblasters to bring down gates, or to even to take care of troops that you haven't taken care of. So there you go. That is an example of elite level gameplay. Pretty frenetic, a pretty fast pace. Creative49's 300 trophies above me. Just over 4,000 trophies themselves. I think level 16 right now on the leaderboard. Maybe a little lower since I took 10 trophies from them. But anyway, that's a great example, I think, of high-level gameplay, and how crazy some of the things can get there. So glad to see that I got full victory for the video, and hopefully you guys enjoy that and find that a little bit insightful. If you have any comments to add or any questions about how I worked through it, or some of the comments that I offered during the video, feel free to go ahead and give me a comment below. Thanks a lot.